Hi, guys. If you are watching this, it probably means that you've booked in a call with me. So thank you for that. I'm looking forward to meeting with you and discussing how we can be a support for your child. This video is just to prepare you for that call and to make sure that we can maximize our time together and we can be really purposeful. So we're going to discuss how your child can address executive functioning deficits so that they can become confident. So, who is this video for? This video is for parents, all right? Really for parents of ADHD or neurodivergent students. We don't need an official diagnosis, but if your kid is having a hard time with those executive functioning skills and you want to help them to develop strong skills, this program is for you. We're looking for parents who are worried that their child is losing confidence and falling behind. And it's not about being intelligent or being smart. It's about skills, and we want to help to build those habits and skills. This video is for parents who really value their child's education and want them to build a bright future and future career. Parents who are prepared to invest the time, the energy, and the effort to help their child meet their potential. And parents who are looking for a clear and actionable plan to help their child stay motivated to enjoy a fruitful and engaging educational experience. And we will talk a little bit more about that plan today. So, quick intro to who we are, what we do, the roadmap that we use to build executive functioning, and how our core confidence program can help and how you can get started. So, you might be wondering, why is your child struggling to get schoolwork done? And why do you feel so frustrated and you find it so hard to find support for this topic? Why your child feels stuck and defeated? Why it feels like your efforts are just falling short? The executive functioning thing is really unique. Not a lot of people feel super confident or even choose to work with students who struggle in this way. But this is really where my passion is. And we're going to talk a little bit about what we can do to help address these various deficits. So, many of you might be thinking, what's going on with your kid meeting your true potential, their true potential with executive functioning? And many of you might have some of these following reasons as to why you haven't yet put something into motion, or maybe you're even doubting as to whether my program could help make a difference. You know, you might be thinking the timing. You might have waited a long time, and you might be thinking now it's too late. They've already built these skills; they can't get better, or that you think that your kid is so busy that they can't take on something more. But this program is in place to help them use their time better. So, first of all, nothing is fixed, and there's never a time where I think it's ever too late. Changes can always be made, but now is the time. And if your kid is busy, we're going to help them learn how to manage the busy better. So, the timing is up to you. If you're here having this call and you're feeling like your kid needs support, then this is the time to do that. Mindset, you might think that your child just lacks the belief that they can change, or maybe you lack the belief that your child can change. You might be thinking that your kid is too settled into their ways. But I'll go back to that point of, with a growth mindset, nothing is impossible. You might be thinking that virtual learning is unproductive, doesn't work for your kid. You might be basing this understanding on like the COVID times, and that was a disaster. No one really was prepared for that, and we were all, myself included, scrambling to figure out how to make it work. But it's different now. We've had some years to build some tools in our toolkit. And also, the virtual learning provides a really unique opportunity for your child to be vulnerable in an environment with kids that they don't know, to create a space where they could say how they're really feeling. And it's not going to get back to their friends and get back into their school, but rather to meet in this online environment with a group of people that share similar struggles. You might be thinking that online tutoring or any tutoring is too expensive. And that might be true for certain programs, but I can tell you, I've made my career out of helping low income and at risk students. And that has extended into this realm as well. We definitely have payment plans, we have sliding scale, we create a program that meets individual needs. So if your kid's needing help and you think what we have to offer is a good match, let's talk about it. Trust me when I say that, I am firmly committed to working with each individual family to meet the individual needs of their child. And then finally, you might just think that your kid doesn't have a winning environment, or that they can't learn in a group setting. And again, I would say this is set up intentionally to meet the needs of the neurodivergent or ADHD student. So our class is built with very small groups. It's built with an intentional structure to create a winning environment for your child to learn. And the group is actually an advantage. It allows them to connect with other kids who are similar. This is how this learning trifecta plays into the group. The group creates the environment where we can discuss the strategies and work together to build the strategies that will develop the habits. That comes back to the group where we can talk about the habits. And this creates this cycle of support. And that's really the power of these groups. How do I know this? That's me. My name is Jason Pergament. I've spent 25 years teaching. I have a master's in curriculum and teaching from Columbia. I have a bachelor's in human development from Cornell. I love the brain and how the brain works and helping kids with different kinds of brains find their own passion. The last 15 years I've specifically spent in this field. I did start Onward Rising because I wanted to find a way to help more students to enjoy learning. I've helped hundreds of students to do this over the years. I've created this program here in Vermont that really helps students build these very skills through actionable steps. And now I'm looking to see how I can expand that vision to meet more kids' needs. So here's just a little video
walking into frame because it's more interesting like
explaining
the
work that I do.
I'm a recent college graduate. I'm barely making by with just a part-time job at the moment. And within 30 minutes of talking to Jason Pergament, I have found a person of contact, created a schedule that would make me money, created a plan to get my permit. And what's really great about Jason Pergament is that he
pushed me, especially when I wanted to give up.
Supporting me and advocating for me. And
Goals, Habits, Growth is the motto he created, and then he dug in and he innovated.
He puts a lot of effort into getting to know his students and thinks about what's best for them.
And Jason's guidance throughout high school, as my mentor, as my coach.
He's helped me do so much at BBA.
I really struggled with my mental health, and I felt that he was the one person that I could really open up to about that kind of thing. He saw my potential. He saw the things that I couldn't see in myself, and he fought to bring those things to light in my own eyes.
All throughout middle and elementary school, I struggled really bad to read. And I came into Success Camp and I was like, Jason, I can't read, what do I do? And through Jason, we figured out I had a huge eye issue, which proceeded to be 9 months of vision therapy, and I wouldn't have figured that out without Jason. Through that, I also got a 504. He's helped me do so much at BBA, and I would not be the type of person I am today.
I've gotten the actual help I needed because I haven't felt heard by other teachers, being there when I need a different space to work in.
ICC Senior Workshop, Warrior Plans, getting ready for college and meeting demands.
He helped kids get jobs, get in the Marines and trades, into housing, start living their dreams.
Mentoring, scholarships, letters of rec, phone calls, emails, can't silence those texts.
I became to value education as a whole over time. As someone who never valued education, never did very well in school, I am now working in the world of education as a dean of students at a high school in Boston. I never would have seen myself here over 10 years ago. Staying in touch with Jason and utilizing him as a resource over the years, I changed my mindset of wanting to view college as a way to pursue something that I actually wanted to study, that I was interested in. I was able to discover a dream for myself and make a plan to achieve that dream.
It helped me figure out what I wanted to do in life, even though it changed over the 4 years a lot, of course, as one does. It helped me relieve the worries that I had going on. As someone who didn't have parents who went to college, my parents couldn't answer the questions that I had. And he was this mentor that I knew was just one text away, always. I knew that I could always go to Jason.
Be there for you. He'll be on your side. He'll be cheering you on.
Jason's one of the best teachers I've ever had.
He saw my potential.
I would not be the type of person I am today without Jason.
So this is what's possible Yes, these are the kids I've
I'm
worked with
walking into
over the
frame 'cause it's
past
more
15
interesting like
years
that.
who are speaking
So,
towards the power
I'm a
of the work
recent
that I
college
do with
graduate.
students. And hopefully you are now ready to put your child's future into your hands. So let me introduce you to Core Confidence. Let's talk about what this is, okay? So 4 pillars. This is the framework for all the work that I do. Core, C-O-R-E, gives me the opportunity to have a structure, to set goals and strive for them with students. So this is the basis for all the work that I do in the Core Confidence program and that I love to do with students. So step 1, clarify. Clarify your goals. Many students struggle because they don't have a clear vision of what they want to accomplish. A lot of times this is blamed on motivation, but we know that really often it's just a matter of clarity of purpose. The students, if they don't know what they're driving for, then it's hard to really keep that drive going. So this causes students to shut down, develop low self-esteem, and rather than striving to meet their potential, they see this as roadblocks. So it's kind of like trying to put together an IKEA chair without instructions. Impossible, can't be done, right? Instead, we are going to give you the roadmap. We're going to work with you to clarify what the goal is. Now we know the chair that we're building. And once we know the chair that we're building, we begin to organize around it, okay? So that's the step 2 of CORE, organizing for success. So even after students have developed clear goals, they might not have the tools to reach them. So that means that we are there to take the time with the students to select the tools and then learn how to use the tools and then practice using them. This gives them a really strong structure in which to develop their goals and then to put their plans into action. You would never give a kid a woodworking tool like a router and just expect them to build a cabinet. See, the tool isn't the answer. The knowledge of how to use the tool is. Okay? So now we've clarified goals, we've organized around success. Next, it's time to refine the habits. So if students have a clear goal and an understanding of how to accomplish it, but they still struggle with resolving the issue, the problem is likely due to poor habits in some way, which means we need to spend some time diagnosing their habits and developing and strengthening new pathways towards their goals. So once they begin to feel the success, it creates a positive feedback loop that keeps them engaged. This is how, like a hockey coach might help their players refine the mechanics of skating and stick handling and shooting. It's those little things that then allow them to perform better in the game. So as the coach, we're going to talk about the specifics, the habits, the right way to hold the stick, the right wrist action to lift the puck. We're going to give them some practice on those habits so that they can really achieve their goals or score some goals, I guess, in this analogy. Number 4, the final pillar is elevate the mindset. Okay, so for progress to occur, students must see challenges as opportunities. They can't see the challenges as barriers that set them up for failure. So how do we do this? We spend a lot of time fostering the growth mindset. Under our mentorship, the kids will learn to believe in themselves. And then when they believe in themselves, they can take action that aligns with those values and those goals. Okay, we don't climb a mountain because it's easy. I'm not saying this is easy, but the view from the top is amazing. So I invite your students along in the journey with me, and I invite them to enjoy the fruits of their own labor. So a quick recap, executive functioning is a skill that can be learned. This is not something that is stuck. We have a proven plan that helps them to get there, all right? And that plan is the roadmap, clarifying goals, organizing for success, refining habits, elevating the mindset. So how am I going to help? Well, once you've signed up, and we'll talk about this on the upcoming call, the next step would be an acceleration call. So we meet one-on-one to really clarify the goal. We get real specific on where are the deficits and what would it look like to improve those deficits. We're not going to just get better at time management. It needs to be really specific. I will be out the door on my own in 12 weeks by 6:50. We're going to really help them to identify something that we're working towards. Then we have a small group course, all right? And that course with a small group, maximum 5, creates a supportive environment for the students to stretch themselves and to develop. We have a regular check-in with the families to make sure adequate progress is being made. And throughout the course, we keep ourselves available, not only for the group settings, but also office hours. We give the kids direct contact to us. We want to be there as a direct line of support for the students and for the families. So the important question that I have, is your child ready for success? Are they ready? Are they in a good place to be able to do this work? Okay, because we've got the tools and all we need is a willing participant. We need the kids to come with an open mind and an open heart to accepting the help that we have to offer. Okay, so there's different ways you can do things. You could guess and hope you land on the right thing. You could work 10 times as harder and just push through it, or you could take the advice from the experts within a proven framework and find much more ease reaching your target. Okay, so call is coming. Before the call, please check in with your child. Don't surprise them that you're trying to get them some support, okay? And if possible, they should be on the call with you. For this to work, we all need to be working together. We need that basic buy-in. And if your child is not there yet, then keep talking to them. Let's maybe think about putting this off until they are ready, because I need them to be willing in order for my work, for our work to be successful. So take the time to talk to your child, let them know this is happening, involve them in the process, and let's foster some buy-in. And if them being on the call allows me to foster buy-in, that's even better. All right, so let's get them there. For the call, make sure you're somewhere quiet with no distractions. Let's be fully engaged with each other so I can understand the problems that you're dealing with. You can understand the program that I'm offering, and we can kind of begin to build this teamwork in a very intentional and purposeful way. Please accept the calendar invite that I've sent you so I know that you're going to be there. And I'll text you as well just to confirm that you'll be on the Zoom before the call. Please respond to me. If you need to change time, great, let me know. If you're feeling this isn't for you, that's okay, let me know. Just please communicate, because I am a real person, and I am taking time away from my family to have these calls, which is my business and a pleasure to do. But if for some reason you can't make it or something changes, just let me know. Easy to change a calendar invite, okay? And then the last thing I would ask you to do is consider the 8 domains here: cognitive flexibility, working memory, task initiation, organization, goal setting and self-monitoring, time management, focus and attention, emotional regulation. And think about where on that spectrum do your students struggle and where do they have strength, have relative strength at least, okay? So that on our call, we can focus in on task initiation, organization, emotional regulation. As much as you can come to the call with your child and prepared with a mindset of what we need to work on, the better. And please let me know, okay? So take a moment. If you want to shoot me a text and say, I'm really looking forward to focusing on how to get more focus for my son or my daughter, that would be really helpful. You can wait until the call, but when I reach out to you, please do respond so that I know that we're all on the same page and that we're working in the right direction. And reach out with questions. This is really meant to be something that is driven by you and your child. It is my job to design the curriculum around their needs. So together, we can really make a positive impact. And I thank you for your interest in Core Confidence, and I look forward to our upcoming call.